Welcome to my beautiful channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make the most beautiful, delicious egusi balls, native, the correct native one. You're going to be needing grounded egusi. For this recipe, I'm going to be using 2 cups of egusi, just powder. It was a bit grounded out with small crayfish, but mainly just egusi. So you're going to add a little bit of salt. I used about 1 teaspoon of salt, and then you're gonna add your seasoning cubes. I actually use no, I use 2 cubes. Then you're gonna add your pepper. I use about 1 teaspoon of pepper, and this is about all you need for your dry ingredients. You can add crayfish more, that's optional. I didn't really add crayfish. It's just the one they used. I grounded in the market. They always insist to use a little bit crayfish to grind out your melon. So you mix your dry ingredients together. So you just want to remove any lump there. So you're gonna take water. I put about like 1 tablespoon of water. You don't need much, like 20 ml water. That's what I put here. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna squeeze it in like you're pressing the whole egusi together. I'm not turning it round. I'm pressing it like you're closing it with the little water you brought. So this is how we do it in the village. This is how we do it. So you're gonna just like press it in together. Just take it in, and just keep pressing the egusi together. You're gonna do this for about like a minute or 2. Okay, you're just gonna proceed and keep doing this for like a minute or 2. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please, what are you waiting for? Just subscribe so you don't miss any delicious thing. So if you notice, it's starting to form a ball, but we're not yet there. It's not yet done. Right now, we'll still say it is undone. It's raw. So I put a little bit more water. When you see it has started forming like into a big ball, but it's still, the ball is still breaking, you put a little bit of water. Like the same quantity, about 20 ml, just small, and I continue to just press it like you're trying to squeeze out something out of it. So you're just going to continue for like another 2 minutes or about a minute. You would know when it's time to put your third water in, like 20 ml water. You're gonna just keep like going in and pressing that in. So I did this for about another like 2 minutes. I didn't really skip much, but I wanted you guys to like really see the process and see how I did it. So you're gonna go in and just like roll it. If you notice, it's not breaking like it was before, but it's still not done. I'm gonna let you know when it's done. When I was learning at this stage, I would think it is done and I would cut it and put it in my soup, and it will just dissolve and just turn to a regular egusi soup. It won't be egusi ball. So you really have to make sure that the egusi is done. When it is done, you will know. I'm going to teach you how to know when your egusi ball, raw balls are done and ready. When I'm using the word done, that's what in the native will say it says it's done, but I don't mean that it's done as in cook. So now it's not breaking much anymore, so I put in the third water, the same quantity, about 20 ml. Then if you can see what I did, I just like rolled the body round for it to round that water, for it to absorb it. I didn't pieces it and put the water in the middle. I just like rolled it round in the bowl to like rub that water. If you notice, everywhere the water touched looked white. So you're gonna just go in there and keep pressing it. This time now we're pressing it. It won't take long, less than another 2 minutes. That's altogether about 6 to 7 minutes. At this stage, you'll start noticing the oil. By the third time you put your water in and start pressing it, you start noticing oil. So we're just gonna press it for a little bit. Like I said, I didn't really fast forward this process because it is the most important process, and I need you guys to see exactly how it is done. Okay. So I just keep going. This egusi balls is just a it's just lovely. Aside from adding it to your soup, you can just eat it as a snack, and it's healthy for even those with blood sugar to just snack on it. It's really, really healthy and exceedingly just delicious. And a lot of extract comes out from this. You have the oil extract and you have the water extract, and individually all these extracts come together to just make your soup out of this world. When I mean out of this world, I'm actually snapping my fingers right now. I cannot tell you the taste. If you can even see the bowl, you'll notice that oil has started coming out of this. So we are almost there, and at this stage it won't be breaking off like it was before. So you're gonna just keep on, pressing it. I think I put in water. Yes, I put in water for the third time, about the same quantity of water. Just like keep squeezing it. Keep squeezing it. Yes, that's the word. Just like squeeze it. You just take it and you squeeze it and you press it and you fold it. Like you would fold fufu or gari with your hands. That's just what you're gonna keep doing. So this is the fun part. It's not stressful. It's actually just very soothing and relaxing. These are things we would do in the village and tell stories while we were in the kitchen. So now at this stage, there's what we call it ogadika okute, like stone. That's how it is in my hand. Now, if you notice, it's not breaking at all. No parts is falling out at all. It's not like it's not like powder falling out. So it's very slippery and smooth, like fufu would be, and that's because of oil has started coming out of it. So now that oil has started coming out of it, I'm gonna continue folding it for about just 1 minute, not more than 1 minute. But it depends sometimes on your egusi, but that's why you have to know the signs, and keep folding depending on the stage your own is at. Right, as you can see now how slippery it is, it's done. So what I'm going to do is that I just want to give it a shape. Now you see me folding it. I'm just trying to give it a shape that would make it easy for me to cut it. I want to like just make it like a dough. As you can see now, when I squeeze it, there's oil all over my hands. Like there's a lot of oil, and if you squeeze it more oil is going to come out. But it's ready now to get into the pot. So I'm just gonna shape it up like a dough so that I can easily cut it. As you can see, oil has started gushing out of it, and this oil is like one of the most tastiest oil I have ever tasted. I didn't even know Egusi had so much oil until I learned how to make this. Like, that's one oil. Since I knew Egusi had a lot of oil, I don't add a lot of oil when making my Egusi soup. If you notice, there are some people when they make Egusi soup, oil will be fighting. The 50% of the soup will be oil and 50% will be egusi soup. That's because of when you cook egusi, it expels a lot of oil. If you can see, we didn't add any oil to this, and see all the luxurious oil coming out of it. You can see it's just like gushing out, and man, I don't know how to tell you this oil. You see this oil coming out. You have tested. I don't even think ice cream is as sweet as this oil. It's very important. I usually safeguard this oil. I use it to cook my egusi soup. Like you'll be wondering, why is this soup tasting different? Why is it tasting sugary? When the soup I cooked with this, I didn't add any other seasoning cube at all. I didn't even add one. The one I added to this and all the whole other flavor, natural flavoring that came out was just fine. And adding seasoning cube even to this is optional. I just really wanted the oil to be sweeter since I was gonna use the oil for to cook. So I'm just giving it a dough shape so that I can cut. If you can see now, it's so greasy that it's actually everywhere I turn to, oil keeps coming out. So it's like stone now. It's not breaking at all. Like no particle is falling off when I hold it. So now you know that your egusi is done and ready to be cut. So I'm going to transfer it into the plate I'm going to use to cut. And can't you see how beautiful it's like a bread dough? It's just sexy. So you're going to take your knife. Your knife has to be sharp. Just take it. You don't need to put anything on your knife. Sometimes I rub in the oil, but it's usually not that necessary. Then you're just going to cut. Oh, it looks like cake. You can see how beautiful this looks. It looks like a moist cake. So you're going to start rolling it into the shape you want. I haven't tried cooking the whole dough, but one important thing about this rolling I have to tell you is that the bigger it is, the harder it is going to be ready to eat. And I don't put the balls directly into my soup because it takes a while to get ready and it can overcook the soup sometimes. Even when you put it elder, it's unpredictable. I don't know, maybe it's trust issues. I just prefer to boil them in water first and get more extracts out of them, which I now use to cook my soup. And sometimes, I've had a situation when I had a fail while I was learning this. Or I didn't fold this until the oil started coming out, so it broke into the soup and the soup was just regular. You don't want that happening to you, so please fold your egusi until the oil starts coming out. So let me just quickly explain what I'm doing. I'm cutting it into cubes, and you can just cut into cubes and press them, or you can roll them up in your hand. As you can see, I'm pressing it in the middle. It is important whether you choose to cut it into cube and press them, or you choose to roll them up in your hand like I'm doing right now and press the middle. The importance of me pressing the middle is so that it can get done quick. The middle has to go in. I learned that from my mom. If you don't press the middle in, you're going to wait for your egusi to get done, and it's not going to get done. What's supposed to take 10 minutes might take up to 30 minutes. Okay, so you want it to get done quick. That is why it's important for the middle to be flat. And I forgot to show you guys, this is how much oil came out of the egusi, of 2 cups of egusi. This is how much oil I got out. Do not look down on the quantity. Quantity might be like 20 ml, but do not look down on that quantity, because that quantity just makes a whole big difference in the soup. So I went on to fast forward this process because it was quite lengthy. So this is how much we got out of 2 cups. So I put water, and I got that water boiling. Like, don't add it to cold water. Make sure that the water is boiling. I fast forwarded this process also, and I put them one after the other. I don't just pour them in so they don't break. I put it one after the other. Make sure that water is very hot and boiling, okay? And make sure the water is cold. So I'm going to show you the difference between the one that is ready and not. These 2 minutes after they are in hot water. When you open the middle and the middle is still brown, they are not ready. As you can see, the one I cut, the middle is still raw. They are not ready. So I poured more water to cover them up, and I let that boil for another about 5 minutes. And then I did the middle check again. You can see they have increased in size more. So I just took one and checked the middle, and boom, my ring light died. So I was struggling to find out why the ring light's power went off. But if you can see the middle isn't brown, it's white, so it's ready. So the next thing, I extracted them from the water, and this water now is going to be the stock I'm going to use to cook my soup. So my soup is ready. Voila! So I'm going to just quickly show you how I add the egusi balls to my soup. So when the soup is ready, just before you put your leaves, you're going to take your egusi balls that are ready and just pour them into your soup and allow them to steam, shimmer for like 2 minutes. I want to say shimmer, I don't know if that's the right word, but just allow them to sit in your soup for like 2 to 3 minutes. And after, I just want to make sure that they are all mixed up in the soup, and I just let it boil afterwards. And after it has boiled, you put your vegetable of your choice. For this soup, I was using uziza. You put your vegetable of your choice, and when that vegetable is ready, you bring down your soup. And trust me, this was delicious. My husband ate it and he was like, "Oh, baby, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. This is so delicious." Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I love you guys.